Good evening, students. Today we're looking at the ending of this play, Moon on a Rainbow Shawl. I provided you with the pages that we're focusing on. I'm going to do dramatic reading that will help you understand the interactions. Let's go. I'm on page 80. Middle of the page, Sophia opening her door. Esther, Esther. She goes into the house, the light goes on. Sophia comes back into the veranda, takes off her hat, puts it on the table, reeling in the clothesline. She begins removing pieces of clothes, and she takes a few pieces down. She stops, looks over towards Ephraim's room, crosses the yard, and calls to him. Ephraim, going to the door. F says, Mrs. Adams? Sophia says, can I talk with you? Come in. I'm not disturbing you, I hope. Here, sit down, I'll move these things. He pushes some articles aside and Sophia sits on the bed. Ephraim goes to the bureau, takes up a bottle, and pours her a stiff drink. Sophia, boy, I'm cold, tired and cold. The rain wet me, it dry on me. Miss Adams, here, drink this. You soon feel better. But why Charlie had to go do a thing like that? I just come from the station. They let me go in and tell him good night. You see Esther? Nope. Since I tell her this afternoon, she run off. She ain't come back. I've been searching high and low. Nobody like they see her. Young people don't know, nah? They don't know. You think Esther could feel more shame than me? The least she could do is come home. Drink the drink, Mrs. Adams. Sophia gulps the drink. So you go in. Rosa told me this morning and I couldn't believe. And this afternoon I want to talk to you. You walk off. Ephraim. I had was to work, Mrs. Adams. He has begun to pack his toilet articles. Sophia. You plan this thing, boy? Not a soul you tell. Mrs. Adams. A man will be coming here in the morning to take away the bed and a couple of other things. Anything you find will come in useful, you're welcome to it. He unplugs the radio. Tell Esther the radio is for her. And I have a couple of ties here that Charlie might well like. Ties for Charlie? F? What about Rosa? Ignoring the question, Ephraim returns to his packing. Ephraim, you gonna walk off and leave her here? Ephraim, I'm talking to you. Ephraim explodes. Mrs. Adams, I ask you something. You know for certain sure you want a whole lot more for Esther than you ever had a chance to get. My old man was nothing. He used to drive a transport mule carry. Everybody stinking dustbin, hawk, spit, crap. It's so funny. You find I want something better for myself. Sophia, you have it, Ephraim? Have it? Soon they will have make you inspector. Today I told them they could shove that, Mrs. Adams. You're a fool, Ephraim. God, you're a fool. You have a future here, and you're shoving it aside. For what? To go off where? What's wrong with all you? Ephraim, I born and grow up in this Trinidad, and I see a change. I see things open up, making room for young people like you. Take Esther, for instance. When I was Esther age, Ephraim. Not now, Mrs. Adams. And then softer with some concern. Mrs. Adams, look, I don't have the time. Here, look, this is $10. Tomorrow, it will help you to get a lawyer, talk in court for Charlie. Sophia could only look at him. He throws the money on the bed. Defensively, he says, nobody else but Charlie could get them $10 from me, Mrs. Adams. A taxi will be here in a minute. If you don't mind, I just want to finish up in here. Sophia, this afternoon, you was ready to almost involve yourself with Charlie. Why? Ephraim shut himself off, rising. Sophia picks up the $10 bill, crushes it, drops it on the floor at Ephraim's foot. She moves towards the door. Sophia says, finish up, finish up, finish up. Rosa has come out of her room to fill a lemonade jug at the water tap. As the water spills into the jug, Sophia hurries to the door. Esther? And seeing it is Rosa. Oh, Rosa turning to her. Good night, Mrs. Adams. Oh, good night, child. Rosa enters her room. Sophia turns back to Ephraim. Rosa is home. F says nothing. Boy, you heard me? Ephraim quietly. Mrs. Adams? Concentrate on your own affairs. Leave me to attend to mine. A car is pulled outside and the driver calls from the street and then come hurrying along the alleyway. And the driver says, Ephraim! Ephraim! Hey, Ephraim! Ephraim answers, Joe! He gets to the door and the light goes off in Esther's room. Driver says, I'm here, I'm here. Ephraim says, a few minutes, pal. Give me a few minutes. I'll be with you. 50 miles to go, you know. We've got far to go. Ephraim comes back towards his room. Sophia stands blocking his path. I have to go, Mrs. Adams. So Ephraim, I got to go. Sophia, Rosa is pregnant. For you. You know that, don't you? He moves forward, forcing his way past her into his room. Sophia follows. No, you're just not going to walk out of here and leave that girl. She has no mother, no father, nobody in the world, only you. Months now you're twining yourself round she, strangling she, till she can't see nobody but you. No, she tell you she making baby, you going off on a boat. You don't want to know. Mrs. Adams, Sophia, I want you to go out there. I want you to go out there right now and tell that man you ain't going no place. Lady, you know what you're saying? You know what you're telling me to do? What in heaven's name? This place you're running to have for you? Now, lady, you would never understand. No, I'm not bright like you. Mrs. Adams, move away from the door. Losing all patience. Move away from the door. I said, be Jesus. Something going to go right in this place today. Sophia says. F says, I have a taxi waiting, Mrs. Adams. Sophia said, let it wait. The taxi horn sounds. Exasperated by her stubborn interference, Ephraim allows the heavier bag to drop to the floor. He sits on the bed. Sophia moves to him. The time when you first asked Rosa and she didn't know what to do was me she come to. As if she was my own daughter. I had to tell her how so that she could be the first. that girl come to this yard straight out of the orphan home. Them nuns have her so. She don't know nothing about men. Then you come, you start making eyes at her. She fall for you. She make you make her lay upon that bed nights with you. Ephraim. She liked it, lady. Sophia slap him across the face. More than you? And now you're taking yourself to go off God knows where to leave her alone in the stinking yard. You know what will become of her? To hell with it! He pushes her so that she crashes against the bed and falls. I don't give a damn. No blasted woman will trap me here. I'm gonna stop there.